Right. Well, hello, everyone. Today is Monday, August 18th. It is now 5:32 p.m. The Josephine County Rural Fire Protection District Board of Directors will now call the meeting to order. We'll start with the roll call. Director's presence. Director Housman.
Yes.
Director Wyden.
Yes.
Director Ownby.
Yes.
Director McGowan is excused and Director Jones is here. Staff present, we have our administrative assistant, Cassie Austin. And in the audience, we have a couple of fine gentlemen from local fire district. Thank you for joining us. All right, if everybody would join with pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'd like to make note that Chief Holmes is online with us. Thank you for joining us, sir. All right. So item 2 on our agenda, approval of the agenda. Anybody see anything on today's agenda that they wish to scratch from the agenda? Are you good as presented? I would entertain a motion to approve today's agenda.
I make motion to approve today's agenda. It's written.
And I'll second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All right, hearing none, take the roll.
Director Hauser,
Yes.
Director Wiley,
Yes.
Director Ownby,
Yes.
and Director Jones.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0.
All right, moving down to item 3 on today's agenda, approval of the minutes. Everybody had a chance to read the minutes from last meeting? And I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes from August 11th.
I'll make a motion to move to approve the August 11th meeting minutes.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second to approve the August 11th meeting minutes. Any further discussion? All right, hearing none, take the roll, please.
Director Hauser,
Yes.
Director Wiley,
Yes.
Director Ownby,
Yes.
and Director Jones.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0.
Moving right along to item 4, financial report, bills payable and treasurer reports. Turn that over to you, Director Wyden.
Okay, on the 8th, $324,821 was transferred into account at Evergreen. And out of that, we have pending some payments that are coming out, $1,067 to SDIS for our insurance, and that's been prorated. Being that we're not going full year on it. There's also the ad for the name change of the Daily Courier, which was $189.50. That's gonna be paid. And then I had a 2 payments coming to me, $155 for the post office box subscription. And then another one for basically office materials, binders, stuff to keep records and separate everything. That's $37.12, that's outstanding. And then we're still working on the purchase of a computer and the owl and stuff. So that's out there. That's just a little over $3,000. So as of right now, those haven't been taken out yet, but once they're taken out, we'll be looking at $320,381.90 will be our balance on our current operating budget.
I do have one more invoice.
Yeah,
To
I was
you.
gonna ask you about that.
This is for the Zoom membership.
Okay. We'll take care of that. Okay.
And then I think that's all OFDDA. That one was also paid, the $31 and
25 cents.
Yes.
Yes, so I was saying, okay.
any other questions concerning the treasury?
We had talked about 2 signatures on checks,
Yes.
and are we gonna press that, or are we just gonna say if it's a check written to one of us, it needs 2 signatures, like reimbursement?
I think once we get the new checks with the 2 signatures lines, right now, the counter checks that they provided us have 1 signature line. So. I think the 2 signature
I did-
is a good way to go.
I did a little research after our meeting this morning. And like at this point, I haven't found any from Costco that have 2 signature lines on. So I got a little more research on that. And so I don't know if they have them, or we're gonna have to go to an outside company.
Have a vendor.
As a vendor.
Yeah.
The other option is, being that Evergreen just prints the single line, is we just keep really good records, which I'm doing. I've got the original receipts and I'm making hard copies that are being, all kind of my financial binder.
Does Costco have any that are a check with the receipt top? And then maybe we can have a separate, the second signature.
Yeah, I'll look into that. They have some different options.
Some way that it goes through 2 people before it goes out, basically is our checks and balances for that.
Yeah, I'll do some more research on that.
Yeah, my only question, the only question I have is that we're setting up the district. And is that gonna be feasible down the road for a chief and an administrative system? That require 2 signatures, because we're technically not gonna be the check writing. In the future, so that's what I was saying, the only time that it would require 2 signatures is if it's to ourselves. Or within ourselves. Otherwise, I don't think it'd be a handicap for him to write those. Maybe he'll have to try and get together with someone else to sign all the checks.
Mr. Sign, well, based on the purchasing and contracting policy.
Yeah.
We could always make any checks over that amount set in there, have to have the 2 signatures.
Yeah.
We could change that.
Just something to think about, we were talking about, because I got checks printed from Costco that really was a good service, and we were talking about the double line. And it brought up that conversation that in our policy, we can require the 2 signatures, we just sign. 2 people sign on that space.
Okay.
Rather than having a double line.
Just one
Because-
on top and underneath.
Yeah, like the bank lady said, there was no check balance on their end,
Right,
the signature's the signature,
yeah, it's our checks and
yeah,
balances.
so it's checks and balance.
So that's why I was saying you could also do that on the upper portion of the check if it's a full sheet check. Should we make that? Create a policy for that one, that if it's over a certain amount, it requires 2 signatures?
Yeah, I think that would probably be a good idea.
Kind of tie that into the
Spend
purchasing,
Yeah.
and contracting policy.
Yeah, because I just don't want to, I don't want to
Right.
talk him about this, gotta write a $30 check.
Yeah.
Yeah, get a second signature, it's like,
And then if it's like the reimbursement to me,
that should work.
you have to sign it versus me signing it.
Right. Vice person.
Yeah.
All right, we can adjust that policy and add the check portions to that. Or do you want to create a whole separate check writing policy?
I'll look at it, throw it on the agenda for next week, after review.
Alright.
Since it's on my.
Yes, it's a new committee. So. Agenda for next week. Fifth next week.
Correct.
Okay. All right, any more on the bills payable treasury report?
Well, that's it.
All right, so moving on to public comments. Members of the public will have 3 minutes to speak to the board about district items. Before I read the references. Technically, I guess it'd be right. Okay, since there's no members, I'll read the whole thing. All right, any members of the audience wish to speak today?
None heard.
None. Old business, I think we actually wrapped everything up last week with our old business, so we got the call squared away. I think that was the last one struggling. So moving on to new business today.
I had a little thing on something we discussed before, which was the Starlink information.
Yeah, well, right here.
Oh, we've got that now.
The committee reports.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, so no new old business. We'll move on to new business. And 7A is committee reports. Staffing, Director McGowan, and Hauser, as Director McGowan, and you got together on any staffing discussions? I'm gonna wait till he gets back.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we'll move out of staffing and move into communications. Director Whiting and myself, and I'll let you take that one. Sir.
We had talked about the Starlink mobile unit costs. Not sure if we need to do that because we're being able to use the Wi-Fi here. And depending on where we have an office at, we might need it there, but anyway, cost wise. The initial standard equipment outlay, which is the dish, the Wi-Fi router. A Starlink cable that's almost 50 feet long, AC power cable, and a power supply unit. They're regularly $349. Right now, they're having a sale, $175 for that kit. And then, one thing we could maybe think of is a mobility mount, so out mobile, easier to mount it. When we do get a chief. Who would interface with Steve, Chief Nelson. If they were both on an incident, maybe he would use that to. Communicate or put information out, so that would be a possibility, that would be an additional $10 for that part on it, so. You're looking at $175 and then $10 for the mobile mount. And then monthly charges. $65 a month for 50 gigabytes. And if you want to go higher, it jumps from 50 to 500, and that's $165 a month. And I don't know, Vinny and I he was overlooking something for me earlier. We discussed maybe with all the streaming and stuff we do, and maybe 50 is not enough. I don't know, what do you think?
I don't know, like if you're streaming a movie, I don't know how that equates to live streaming, but you can do quite a few movies in a month on 50 gigs.
Okay.
However, I don't know how that works with the live streaming from Zoom to YouTube. That may take more bandwidth, but I don't know that we would use especially if we're going to be going to 2 meetings a month and then eventually 1 meeting a month. I don't know that we.
So
That's true.
So that may be the 50 gig may be fine.
And we can always start there, and if we find that we're reaching that, we can always.
And then the only other thing I suggest is like we were talking about for the computer and the owl would be get a hard case for it. And Harbor Freight, they're just like Pelican cases, and get one of those, probably somewhere in the $45 to $55 area for a good box. To keep all the equipment in. That's pretty much it.
So, question to clarify, the equipment that you are pricing, is that the original equipment? That requires the modem, or is that the roam?
This is the room.
That's quite price. That would $450.
So, yeah, this, now you're talking about the mobile Starlink unit, right?
Mhm.
So. The one that we have doesn't have a mesh, it's all built into the dish itself.
Yeah.
So there's no mesh, but we just found out, so I bought it for remote fire calls. And we were seeing this $165 or $160 bill kept coming through. And I was like, well, we're not even using it. And they said, oh yeah. You have to know to turn it off.
Yeah.
Or pause the service. And then activate the service so you're not continually being billed.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I turn mine off in winter. But once you activate it for 30-day cycle.
Yeah.
No matter how you turn it off before that 30 days, that you're still getting that cycles. It's not a bad system. I'm just not sure we're ready or need it right now for this space and getting Wi-Fi.
Yeah, right. They don't say how long that sale is on.
I think you can also opt in to get the 150-foot cable versus the 75-foot or 50-foot
Get
cable.
them out of the car.
Yeah.
You got it. Yes.
So does that need to be put outside then, like we were here doing our meeting, we'd have to put that somewhere outside.
Yeah, so you get the signal.
Cables, so
Yeah.
have to run it out a window and bring the cables, where somebody doesn't trip over it.
Yeah, you actually, I have it at my house, and you actually take your phone out. And just do a circle with it, it tells you where you're best and. Then out here is open, it's.
Yeah, it should be a little out here.
Well, do we want to hold off on the purchase of this at this time, or do we want to go ahead and move forward?
I'd be willing to bring mine next week and we can fire it up out there and
Try it,
try everything on it, see how it works before we make that purchase.
do like a test run.
You want to do that?
Yeah, let's do that. See.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so we'll put this back on to
Whole business.
whole business for next week. Communications wise, do you have anything else like to discuss on that?
That's all I had for that,
So, following in with communications, we have the website and Facebook page. It's something that we should probably be putting together, so we kind of at least put the page together for the Facebook page, however, it's not being put out there yet, just starting to build it, put some stuff into it. Ideally, I think September 3rd would be the best time to unleash it to the public. So that way the name will be official at that time. But with the website, since we still need a .gov domain name, we just have the .com, the two .com names, our district and FD. We can create a web page for temporary space, so we get the .gov. And then SDAO has Streamline as their provider, which also does all the ADA compliance stuff for the website. So as we we post pictures and put things up there, they go through and they have a system where it actually creates the ADA compliance part. So a full description of that picture, so that if somebody goes on and is vision impaired, they can actually hear a readout of what the picture is. So I think that's important, especially in today's day and age with the ADA compliance bit. So their fees are a little more expensive than a basic web hosting. But because it does come with all the extra service that they provide with that, plus there's unlimited training. So if anybody wants to go in and learn how to put stuff, which we would need eventually have somebody actually going in and doing that stuff.
Yeah.
So all the training's free. If that's a route that board wants to take, I can look into that, start getting quotes from Streamline for that. Okay. And then the Facebook page, we'll have it up and ready to go for September 3rd. Okay. All right, policies and procedures. We do have a couple of policies. Well, actually, we have one policy on today's agenda, so move into that. And then, as we discussed just now, on treasurer's report, we'll create or amend a policy.
Yeah, I'll be happy to go back to that. I'll send you an idea that we will have some.
Sounds good. Perfect. Anything else on policy?
We talked about one last week, I don't think we did.
No.
Just agree.
It was just the one from last week. We discussed some, yeah. Okay, and then consideration committee, Director Weidling and myself, would you like to talk about that, or you want me to?
Go ahead, I can add.
Okay. So we met today with Chief Nelson and had a discussion, and some good ideas came across the table. Once he returns from his trip, we will get together again and discuss some more on it, and we'll bring that to an executive session either next week or the following week. Or
That, and there was a question at survey report, I'm gonna ask Cassie about.
Oh, yes. The Thank you for that. Actually, I'll bring that up in other, because it's different than
Yeah.
I consider it, yeah, but remind me, when we get to the end. Okay. Okay. All right, nothing more on the consideration committee? Any other questions or concerns? All right, so moving on to 7B. Review and approval of policy 2025-004, the recruitment and hiring procedure policy. Everybody got a chance to read that? All right, I would entertain a motion to approve the language in policy 2025-004 in the matter of Josephine County Rural Fire Protection District recruitment and hiring procedure policy.
I'll make that motion to approve 2025 -4.
No, so.
All right, I have a motion and a second on the approval of 2025-004. Any further discussion? All right, call the roll, please.
Director Hauser,
Yes.
Director Whiteling,
Yes.
Director Omby,
Yes.
and Director Jones.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0.
Okay. Now, we'll move on to item 7C, which is approval of resolution 2025-005, adoption of recruitment and hiring policy procedures. I entertain a motion to approve and adopt resolution 2025-005 in the matter of adoption of the Josephine County Rural Fire Protection District's recruitment and hiring policy procedure. Excuse me, hiring procedure policy.
I'll make that motion as stated.
As I said.
And I'll second that.
All right, so I have a motion and a second to approve the adoption of Josephine County Rural Fire Protection District recruitment and hiring procedures policy. Any further discussions? All right, hearing none, take the roll, please.
Director Hauser,
Yes.
Director Whiteling,
Yes.
Director Omby,
Yes.
and Director Jones.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0.
Have that signed here. All right. Moving right along tonight. All right, 7D, district branding, logo design. So I have a few that been tinkering around with, and I think Director Hauser has an idea as well.
That's very similar to the one he's been working on.
Very similar.
Very simple.
All right, so what I will do is I'm going to attempt to share this screen
That's-
without messing.
that's
everybody
actually-
up.
You didn't see it?
No.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Let me see if I
This is
share this.
what he drew up. Wait till you see what he's got.
Wasn't using any AI.
No, this,
It's amazing what you can put it in something.
I would almost say chat can draw something like that. In strokes.
Okay,
Pretty good.
so
Better than I could do.
sharing the screen, so you can see this here. If you guys can see this without me messing with
Oh,
the camera.
to the Hogs Creek Bridge, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I know you guys can't see it over there, but if you care to see it. This is one idea. And I'll move through them. There's an older one. This is just picture the mid-road same way, but just changing the picture in the middle. This as the actual logo. And then.
Oh, yeah.
Other option, the bridge, we could do the logo there, but this would be the patch. Like the armband patch. And then here, so then we got back to, yeah, it's very similar to what you pulled.
Yeah,
Okay.
actually, I actually love that, that's good. Should we have an established date though? You think?
That's in the.
It is on.
It's right, yeah, it's on the bottom here,
No.
plus it's also, are you saying not to have it or to?
No, I think it's a good idea.
Okay, 'cause we have.
What's going on, were you like looking through my window or something?
Yeah. So, that was just an idea, and then the Hog Creek Bridge had an option of, which direction you wanted to show. So we have that direction, or that direction.
Yeah, I like it.
Huh?
Huh.
It just to show
That one looks more correct for the way the river is, but
Yeah.
I like the.
I like having the badge on the other side.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Last week when we were talking about it, Martha and he showed me pictures of about 2 weeks ago, some stuff he's kicking around. I suggested that we throw Hell's Gate or something in there.
Yeah, yeah.
And that Hell Creek Bridge is the bottom of Hell's Gate, so
right.
I like it.
And I like it.
Check out the mountain peaks in the back.
Well, and that's what, yeah, you had mentioned, because the other one that I did had the, just like
Some
mountains, and
mountains,
then you're like, we need mountains that look like those mountains out
Yeah.
there, and oh. I was like, well, we can.
That looks
try
right.
this for- So I don't know if that's something we wanna put off to when Tom gets here and do a vote, which one we'd like to do, or.
Yeah, because the name change isn't official till the third,
Third.
considering we've got a meeting in between, so maybe we should wait a Tom.
Okay.
Is it?
All right. Let me stop sharing.
I just think it's funny, bro, the thing with it.
Yeah, that is actually, it's almost the
Well-
same.
Mark called me, he's like, throw something together, and I was like, okay. I started thinking about all the elements around here.
Yeah,
Perfect.
all right. Okay, all right, so we'll move that to next week's agenda. And I'll try to have it printed out so it'll be in your packet this time. Is there anything that you might want to see different? On that?
I like the pictures, the way it is.
Either one of them?
No, I think it looks good.
Okay, move that to the next week's agenda. All right, moving down to 7E, workshop schedule. So last meeting, we discussed having a strategic planning workshop, as well as a revenue securing workshop. Both of those are equally important. We probably need to have the strategic plan figured out before we can actually dive too deep into the revenue. However, we could do one right after the other just to get them started, because I imagine they're both going to take more than one workshop setting. So the question would be the schedule. Do we want to do these to where they fall right after our general meeting, since we're here already together for our general meeting? We can end the general meeting and then go into a workshop. Doing it on the same day, so we don't have to, or the other option is doing it multiple, picking another day during the week. I just have to make sure that this place is available.
And then confirming workshops are open to the public and
Yes, I just.
in advance, there's no.
No. Right,
I just assume doing the same day as the meeting. Just get it done one.
yeah, just extend our time or make a shorter agenda
Yeah.
and then go into the workshop directly following. So do our business up front and then workshop same day, okay? Do you want to start with the strategic planning workshop right after our next meeting on the 25th?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'll make sure my business sponsors pizza for that.
Planning. Workshop. All right, very good. Following, okay. And then, do we want to go ahead and put it on the books for revenue one, or do you want to just plan on doing a workshop after these, or it's actually with the 25th? We're gonna go into September, so we would be the second Monday of September, which would be.
Eighth.
The 8th, September 8th, you want to do the revenue workshop on the 8th, start that discussion?
Yes.
Okay, all right. 5th and 8th. Does that work for you as well?
And we were gonna have forgive me, that are with us last week, or she could be able to be here for that workshop.
Oh, Cheryl.
Sure.
I'd be. For this, which one?
For the red one.
I can ask her, yeah.
I mean, I think I remember her talking about possibility of. Being there.
Join us for
Yeah.
a workshop, yeah. I've definitely reached out.
Okay.
Okay, any more discussion on scheduling the workshops? Hearing none, we'll move down to 7F, general meeting schedule. So kind of touched on it multiple times, but just want to get it solidified. September, are we at a stage now where we go every other week in September?
I believe so.
So starting September and maybe through the end of the year, just do it every other week.
I
Or
think we
unless
should
we
call it by
adjust
month,
it.
yeah.
You
If,
want to do it
if
by month?
September, November hits or October hits and we get to a point where like, okay, once a week.
Okay.
But we had talked about doing one meeting, actual meeting and keeping them 2 weeks apart and play with people on the workshop.
Late. Yeah.
Yeah, keep it short.
Keep it short,
So
yeah.
we might have to keep that going because strategic planning.
It's gonna take,
Yeah.
yeah, that one's gonna take some time.
I would say definitely September, October, we keep a 2 week rotation.
Okay, so we'll go every other week, starting September 8th, so. September 8th. And 2 weeks. Okay. Look to that. Any other discussion on that? All right, hearing none, we'll move on. Correspondences, review of any letters, emails, or documents received. Buddy. Did we,
I checked, there's nothing,
nobody sending us any letters?
not yet.
No, wait,
No hate mail or anything? All right, nothing. All right, hearing none, we'll move on to additional matters of the board. Open floor for board reports, requests, or comments.
That will be the time.
Oh, yes, thank you. Thank you. Well, I was looking for you guys first and I would end, so do you guys have anything first before we move on to that? Anything? All right, so when the district was formed, the surveyor report. Do you have a copy of that? Is that copy somewhere available? So we're looking for the actual digital version of it, with all the language of like township, this, range that, starting in this corner, all the language of the actual boundary generation.
Is that not one of the exhibits from the court orders?
I didn't see it.
Let me do some digging. And I'll-
And if we can find that in digital form, so it's easier to change and amend,
Mhm.
because there is a property on Hayes Hill that is part of IE's. And it's in ours.
Okay, I will do some digging to see what I can. I'll be in touch with Wally Hicks, because I know that they are the keepers of those documents.
Okay,
So,
yeah, if we can get that, like I said, a digital version, easier to make those changes.
I will be in touch.
As well, we submit that to the
You
DOR.
are,
Yeah,
absolutely.
and the ideal would be to submit that at the same time that we do the name change, so that it's with all the shop.
That makes perfect sense.
Okay. Awesome. Was there anything else? Well, hearing nothing else, without objection, I would like to adjourn today's meeting. Hearing none, we will adjourn today's meeting at 6:05 PM, and thank you, everyone. Have a good evening.
Mark, reminder.